So here we have our Cree LED. This is the single. This is one of the side emitter red LEDs. You can see positive here, negative there. So basically we take this LED and we'll take this piece of heat transfer tape and we're going to tape that onto the LED star, and it's double-sided. So then we'll stick the LED star here with the tape onto the heat sink, the copper heat sink. Now those holes in the heat sink, we can run our wires out through those holes or run the wires up in and then solder them onto the pads. And then basically what happens is this lens holder will sit on top of the LED star, and the lens sits on top of the lens holder in a certain way, like that. I'm hoping you all can see this. And then all this, it's not put together properly right now, so you know whether or not this is actually gonna work, I don't know. But then you just screw in the heatsink until the lens pushes up against the face of the emitter here, and of course the wires will be coming out there. And then the issue that we have to resolve right now is getting getting this emitter into that hole. Right now that hole is too big for our emitter, so we're going to have to sand down the inside of the side emitter hole, which will make it 1 inch in diameter, so this can fit in, and then we'll know 1 inch diameter blades will work here on the side. So that's the mission for tonight. I don't want to show sanding and grinding on this thing on video because that's going to be really boring, but at least you get to see how these side emitters go together. Seems to be fairly straightforward. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but these are my speaker wires. This is my speaker. A little dust on there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see through this through the magnifying glass. But basically what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to pre-tin these ends of these speaker wires, which I've already dipped in flux. Now I'm going to get some solder on my iron, and I'm going to pre-tin those speaker wires, which I'm getting ready to. And there you can see the wires are nice and shiny now with solder. They've been pre-tinned. Now I'm going to pre-tin my speaker. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll try to make it as clear as I can. Okay, so now the speaker is pre-tinned. Let me turn that there. I'm going to take these wires out of the helping hands. Now I'm going to use, I know a lot of people say it doesn't matter, but it's marked, so I'm going to try and keep it consistent. So I'm going to use the orange side of the speaker as the positive. So let me use my helping hands here. So my solid orange wire I'm going to use as positive. Give it a little tug. We're good. Even though that solder looked a little smoky, but it's just probably because I had too much solder on it when I pre-tinned it, but it's a good solid connection. Now for my negative side, I'm using this white and orange wire. I can't see the way. I was trying to make it so the camera could see it better than me, but that's, you know, that's not going to be good. Okay. So now my wires are definitely in there. I didn't like the way that one was. It was sticking out a little bit much. I don't know if that's going to affect it going into the cradle there or what. So there's my speaker all wired up. Good connections. Give them a little tug. This is my speaker carrier. I've already got the hole drilled for the speaker wire. And then I also am going to run a negative wire from the negative battery pole in through there. Okay, I'm going to heat this up down here. Oh, sacrificing a finger there. Hold that down. Alright, so now we have some batteries to test this LED with. And I think that for this white clear LED, this is a red, red, white. I'm thinking, oop, that would be correct. Holy moly, that's bright. Oh, God, that's bright. Okay. So, that is definitely... now I can't see. Alright, so right now, basically what I'm doing is I am tying all the positive on this Tri-Cree LED. And I've just pre-tinned the Tri-Cree LED. And what I'm fixing to do is solder this tie down right there. Of course, the way that wire's bending up doesn't want to do that, does it? I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm hoping you guys can see that. Sorry about my shaky hands. But there's my bridges. They're pretty sloppy. Those are the first LED bridges I've ever done. And I have my common positive feed heading out. So I have all three positives connected running off one feed. And I'm going to common the feeds coming out of the side emitter to this feed. And there will be a single positive feed that feeds all the LEDs in the side emitters and the main emitter, going back to the positive LED connection on the board. Okay, now I've just soldered my white negative onto the negative board. I don't know if you can see that. So now what I'm going to do is test my bridge to make sure my bridge is functioning. I'm going to connect to my battery and the white LED should come on. Alright, I'm going to try not to look directly at it this time, and the white LED lights up, so we're golden. That is correct. Okay, so I have my 3 negative leads all coming off. So I got white with an orange stripe, that's negative on a red. I got white with a brown stripe, that's negative on a red. And then I have white with a blue stripe, and that's negative on the white LED. And then I have my common positive feed. So now my Tri-Cree LED is wired and ready to roll. There are, a total of 4 wires coming out, 3 negatives for each LED, and the single positive that feeds all 3 LEDs. So my Cree is ready to rumble. Now, really quick, I just wanted to make sure my bridge does not interfere with the lens, and it looks like the lens sits on there just fine, even with the bridges as they are. So I'm golden. I'm just waiting on the adapter plate so I can finish setting up this LED. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to solder up one of the side emitter LEDs. Which these are a lot easier. There's a lot more space working on these than there is the and by the way, I already pre-tinned the wires before I started the video. There we go, it just took it a second to flow. Okay, so there's one side emitter soldered up. Okay, I've taken the covering part off this sticky, and I'm getting ready to stick this down to the well, that trick didn't work, I saw on the internet. I guess not everything you see on the internet works. Okay, so there's the heat tape on the back of the LED. Now I want to line up these holes on the heat sink on the back of the LED. And it's fairly common sense because this little screw hole here in the copper, that's so you can drive that up into the emitter, so you don't want to cover that up. And now I'm going to untwist these wires. I'm not going to bear you to that on video, and I'll finish putting together this emitter. Okay, I've separated my wire strands, so now what I'm going to do is pass my strands down through the heat sink. And I probably should have soldered those on a little differently, but I want to probably solder them to the inside would probably be smarter than what I did there. But at any rate, I guess this is how you learn. We'll see if I can make this work. They're pretty strong solder connection. That's stranded wire, so it's pretty flexible, so hopefully I can get it out of the way there. There, I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's try this again. I had to shave some of the corners off that lens holder. They were grabbing on on the emitter body, and then you just thread the heat sink into the emitter body, and it pushes the lens up tight against the emitter body. And then we can use a flat bladed screwdriver and make sure we snug it up good. And that's it. That's one side emitter assembled. And then from then it's just a simple matter of dropping it in and securing my set screws. So I'm bringing the wires through. And then pushing that bad boy in there till it seats. Now I don't know how deep I'm supposed to seat this thing, but I'll seat it as deep as I can because, you know, that way I get more of the side blades in there so they're more secure. And then I'm going to tighten my set screws. And that's it. Side emitter done. You can see it down in there. She's ready to roll. There's my wires. Of course, the green is my positive, and I'm going to be commenting it with the main blade positive feed and also the other side blade positive feed, which is going to be, I think, brown. I'm not sure yet. I haven't picked a wire for that yet. But at any rate, that's side emitter wired up.